Hunter Biden goes absolutely bananas on air during a super explicit rant. Folks, this is really something, all right? Hunter Biden is totally off his rocker, shocker, I know, but he actually decided to sit down for an interview with this weird leftist journalist named Andrew Callahan. I think that's his name. Dude's gained a little bit of weight. That's besides the point, but Hunter goes on and totally loses it. He goes nuts, and we're going to play a fun little game, all right? Every time he says a certain explicit word that starts with F and ends in fire truck, we are going to take a drink, all right, of what we'll call it a Coca-Cola, okay? That's what I'm drinking. So without further ado, we are going to get right into it. But first, do me a huge favor here. Like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you all this great, hard-hitting content. And as always, Patriots, I'm your host, Arian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
We sit here and we talk about the one guy because there's a clear legal path to being able to get him back. What about all those other people? Am I not supposed to feel for someone? Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. F you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your fucking garden? Who do you think is here by the fucking sheer just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals. White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a violent crime than an immigrant. And the media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm Emanuel was so smart, Rahm Emanuel. And so we got to understand that these people are really mad, and we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that appealed to those white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old, and he got 81 million votes, and he did not because he appeased their Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. Then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, f you. How are we getting those people back from El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade. It's a crime what they're doing.
All right, guys. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last at this game. All right, that was brutal. I might be on the way to getting hammered. Okay, not going to lie. Also, where to start with that rant? Well, first of all, when Hunter Biden says, well, the white man is more likely to commit a crime than an immigrant, seriously, what the hell are you talking about? It is clear to me that a certain white powdery substance has clogged his brain up. Okay, first of all, an immigrant can be a white man. Okay, so again, what are you even trying to argue? Beats me. But that aside, we're talking about the white man. Oh, the white man's so bad, he's going to commit more crimes. Okay, what about the black man? Are we allowed to talk about that, or are we just going to conveniently ignore that because that doesn't fit along with the Democrats' narrative? I will say I kind of agree with Hunter on one thing. Yes, Joe Biden was able to appeal to white men, and not because he played some identity politics. But I think there's a key component that's missing here. He just came off as more normal. Was Joe Biden an extreme radical? Sure. He also is an empty suit with no beliefs who is good at, as much as I don't like the guy, he can be personable with people when he wants to be, right? But there's a big asterisk there because he can be really mean too. Also, I really hope Hunter Biden does become president, all right? That would be awesome. I would love that every minute of it. At first I was going to say that'd be horrible, but now I'd say it's kind of funny, all right? America is going so wild right now. Hey, might as well just throw some gasoline on the fire, metaphorically. I'm just saying. Now, get ready to witness even more silliness from Hunter Biden.
And are the incredible beneficiaries of that new blood that enters our bloodstream year after year after year. The only thing that makes us different from China or Russia or anywhere else or Europe or anywhere, and the only reason that I believe that we as America are different beyond the fact of the idea of the Constitution, the idea that we represent, is immigration. And I can't even believe sometimes I'm having this discussion with anybody. How do you think that we are reborn every generation? How do you think that we attract the smartest people in the world to the United States of America? Through immigration. I mean, you sit here and, I mean, like, just think about it. You got some motherfucker who's made over, what, $251 billion being a United States citizen that got here and stayed here illegally before he got his citizenship, sitting here lecturing us on who we should allow into the United States of America and giving us a Hitler along the way. Are you kidding me?
And talking about how gay.
I have no idea what the heck, once again, Hunter Biden is talking about. Europe is flooded with migrants, okay? Have you looked at the demographic change in London, for instance? That provides a great example. Back in 1960, London was 98% white, with the vast majority of those people being British white people. Take a look at London now in 2021. Folks, it is bad, all right? Only just about 30%, a little more than that, maybe a little more than that, is a white British person. That is insane, okay? It's just... Give me a manual on how to destroy a civilization in 60 years, all right? And have London be the case model. Seriously, it's awful. Germany's not that great either, all right? Have you heard about all the issues going on? There are even posters being put up there now telling people like, hey, don't get in a gang and, unconsensually touch a girl in a very heinous way. I can't say more because, we'll get in trouble. You need to teach people how to do that now. And as for what Hunter said about an immigrant, whether they were legal or not, I don't know, lecturing people on who we can let in, I agree with him, but maybe not for the reasons that, one might think. I personally hate it when any immigrant, legal or illegal, I don't care, tries to lecture the American people on how many people they should let in, who they should let in, and why they should let them in, all that kind of stuff. It's like, dude, this is not your country, okay? You are lucky to be here. Show some gratitude. So, found some common ground, I guess. Now, as much as I don't like Hunter Biden, he can be kind of funny sometimes. I'll show you a clip of that right now. It's a little unhinged, but I can't lie, I had a chuckle.
Stupidity is ignorance. Because how do you defeat ignorance? You can point out to people that are willing to hear of the evil of someone. And I mean this sincerely. I don't know anyone personally that if you took Stephen Miller, isolated, and you played a clip of the things that he says.
Every day we arrest another alien they let into this country who raped a child, who beat a woman.
Quote, all the kinky-haired, swarthy-skinned, long-despised phantoms, all the teeming ants toiling for the white man's comfort.
And his little physical demeanor, and not be able to say, there's something f***ed up about that motherfucker. However, how do you identify and change the mind of someone who is so ignorant that they cannot discern between a fact and an outright lie?
An outright lie. Maybe like saying you can magically change your sex at the snap of a finger and, maybe some other interventions. Yeah. Real rich coming from a leftist. But anyways, folks, that wraps it up for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. As always, Patriots, be sure to comment. Let us know what you liked about the clip, what kind of stuff you want to see in the future. And if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. And that way we will see you again soon. God bless.